I'm here in the aftermath of a Pete Buttigieg town hall in New Hampshire, Plymouth, New Hampshire, and people cleared out pretty quickly. I was trying to talk to some supporters, and a lot of them said they were undecided, but I was able to talk to a few supporters, and I wanted to ask them, Pete Buttigieg probably benefited most of any candidate with Iowa and New Hampshire, two of the whitest states in the country, being first, something Julian Castro has pointed out he would like to see reformed because it privileges white issues over Latinx and black communities. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to supporters about. Why is he unable to connect with black Americans, and does it have to do with some of the issues with racist policing practices and criminal justice when he was mayor of South Bend, Indiana? So he's had some issues connecting with African Americans throughout the country.
I don't know why. I have an African American son that I adopted, and what you hear on the news is a negative. How about getting some of these people and let them talk about the programs that he instigated in South Bend?
Well, there were some issues with criminal justice and policing.
Well, that was all right, but that first started before he even got there. And just like he acknowledged the other day on the news, is that it was a misjudgment on his part, and it was the first thing that had come up, and that he would never, ever do it again, because he knows now that he had made the wrong judgment, I should say, for that with the police chief and stuff. But he has worked closely with African Americans, but they don't bring that out.
Pete has had a hard time connecting with African American voters, and that's really been an issue with him. Do you think his record on policing and criminal justice in South Bend has an effect on that?
Apparently it does, but I have to admit I don't know a great deal about it.
He has very low approval rating with African American voters. Do you think his record on policing and criminal justice in South Bend has affected that?
I actually do, and I have a little bit of concern about that, and I'll actually reach out to my friends and tell them, look at what actually happened, look at the choices that needed to be made, and actually break it down, and I think that will help.
So when the increase in marijuana arrests, the firing of the black police chief,
that's a huge one.
I mean, what have you seen from him that's shown that he understands the gravity of that?
The basic is I feel like he actually tries to address that situation, saying, I've dealt with this. I had to make some hard choices, but I did it for the greater good.
I just saw an interview, I think it was in Iowa, where somebody that was interviewing him brought that back up, and he said, I would still like to talk with that person again, saying that he'd already spoken once with the person that got fired. So he doesn't run away from problems, he acknowledges them, so I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'm not worried about it.
All right, thank you very much.
Sure.